What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cal Life here, bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and today we're going to be playing some Sky Strikers. Now Sky Strikers is a super fun deck. It was one of the decks that I built first in Master Duel, and it was also the first deck I used to go ahead and hit platinum with before there was even diamond ranks, right? But anyways, if you guys like the content, please hit the like button, hit the comment button, and just say how much you like the content. I would really appreciate it, bro. Also, if we could get this video to about 15 likes, I would really be appreciative. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I do have some crazy replays today, especially with this deck, as we were able to go ahead and play through a few number of decks that was actually super annoying, especially being Numerons, Sword Souls, and even PKs. But yes, anyways, the deck list will be in the description below. But yep, you guys have a wonderful one. See ya. Alright, so we are going to be going second, and it looks like we're playing against a grass deck. I decided to go ahead and hit it with the Ash Blossom. Then they decided to go ahead and play a Pot of Desires, which is then going to lead to them playing this card. Now this card is super annoying, as they could toss out one card to go ahead and get this trap card from their deck. And what's going to be really annoying about this trap card is I don't play against Infernoids much, so you're about to see. But basically, I'm going to Harpy Feather Duster it, which they're going to activate Void Feast. Void Feast is going to allow them to summon out 3 Infernoid monsters from their deck, whose total levels is equal 8. So as you can see, they summon out 3 monsters. And what's annoying about this is no matter what, they can just tribute themselves to go ahead and banish any card in my graveyard, right? Which is pretty bad for Sky Strikers, especially because I need my spells. But we are going to go ahead and summon out the Airspace field spell, and then from there, we're going to activate our Mecha modules. And now, by activating Mecha modules, we can get ourselves off a Raye. I'm going to go ahead and attack to go ahead and get rid of one card, but they decided to go ahead and banish off a Raye, which is what I was hoping for, because now I could go ahead and use Hayate to put Raye into the graveyard. They decided to go ahead and banish that one again, and now I can take the Infernoid using my Widowacre and then link summoning into Verte and the Conda. Now with Verte on the field, obviously you know what we're about to do. We're about to use Fusing Destiny, and the reason I did this is because I did not want them banishing another monster with these Infernoids, so just super annoying. Now we are going to put our Widowacre back, and we're just going to end our turn. So at this point, we do have ourselves a DPE, we have a Verte, we have the module. The module does get hit with our Widowacre, 2 Harpies, which you're going to see a lot in these duels. We actually get harpied almost every match. I think probably we do get harpied every match, which is ridiculous, bro. So at this point, they are gonna just go ahead and summon, and then luckily they get rid of the Nib in our hand, which is what I would have really had wanted anyways. And then we top deck into a Hornet drones. Now with Hornet drones, this is gonna be the life savior of the duel, as we can now go ahead and immediately link off into a Kagari. With Kagari, I can go ahead and grab any Spell Striker spell from our grave. I decide to take the Engage. They're gonna go ahead and banish out the Engage, which does suck, but because they got rid of the Nibiru, we can now activate the power of Destiny Hero Celestial, and then we actually got a Engage off of that. From there, we grab ourselves the Widowacre, and then we actually top deck into the Ash Blossom, and it is going to be GG's, because they're going to go ahead and activate their card, which is going to go ahead and banish our second Engage, so we can't grab it. But now we have everything set up, as Ash is a tuner. The tuner is going to allow us to go into the Hulk, and now that we're Hulking out here in these streets, we can immediately go ahead and summon out the Effect Veiler, and then from Effect Veiler we go into Selene. Now with Selene, y'all know where we're going with this. We're going to go into Access Code, and it's going to be enough damage to go ahead and completely end this Infernoid deck. What a super annoying deck with the banishing of the cards. But yeah, we're gonna get up to 5300, and we're gonna attack for game. So even with them banishing cards, we were able to play around it. So GG's to them. Let's get on to the next one. Okay, in match number 2, we are unfortunately going first. Usually when I play Sky Strikers, unless I'm playing Kaiser Coliseum with them, I like to go second. So we're immediately going to go ahead and start off with Roze to summon out the Chizuku. And then from there, they're going to hit us with the Infinite Imperm. I'm going to go ahead and activate Fusion Destiny at this point. Fusion Destiny is going to be really huge for us in this game. As you can see, you probably know what we're going against, especially since we're going first. Then I'm going to play a Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill is actually such a good card, and the reason I was playing this in my deck is because at the time I did not have 3 Imperms. So it is going to get, unfortunately, Harpy Feather Duster. They are going to go ahead and summon out the Planet Pathfinder. I decide to big brain things because once I knew they were playing Numerons, I said, let me go ahead and destroy my cards, which is going to allow me to go ahead and not be OTK'd, as they're gonna go ahead and summon out the Infiltrate Fortress, and then what they're gonna do is about 5,000 damage. So if we would have kept any of our monsters on the field, they could have OTK'd us, right? So this is just me being able to save myself with a big brain play. I'm now gonna activate Breakthrough, and this is why Breakthrough is so good. Even in the graveyard, it's able to do something, right? So now by activating Breakthrough, we can destroy this card even though we don't have an Exceed. I'm going to activate Harpy's Feather, which is then going to go ahead and chain off of the DPE. So goodbye to that. Harpy's destroys the what's it called? So now with Harpy's destroying that, we can go ahead and use the Celestial to go ahead and use an Upstart. We actually draw into a Mobilize Engage, and then we can go ahead and summon out Hayate. And now we're gonna go ahead and attack. They do hit us with a Battle Fader though, so that's super annoying. But at this point, it is what it is, as we are just going to have to force to end our turn. But we do have a nice little face down. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and once again use DPE to destroy both my monsters, and the reason I'm doing this is that way he can't summon out 2 Kaijus. So here we go. He uses the Battle Fader to get 2 of them out, but we are going to survive. He just goes ahead and attacks with the Jizukiru onto the Gardala, and they're just gonna go ahead and end their turn. So right now, this deck is doing pretty well for itself, as they still cannot OTK us. DPE is being super annoying. We're going to go ahead and once again attack, which we're going to do around 58 damage. And then after that, I'm going to use DPE's ability, get rid of Numeron Network once again. Now I decide to play Droplet. We know at this point, they have no Harpy's Feather. The only thing that they would be able to do would probably be the Lightning Storm, but luckily it wouldn't even matter at this point because we are in a good position. So they do get themselves a Gardala. I'm gonna activate DPE in the graveyard. They're gonna activate Numeron Wall, which is gonna get them their next Numeron Network. What is that, number 3? So we are playing through 3 Numeron Networks this duel. I decide to wait for them to attack, go into the battle phase, to summon out the Infiltrate Megachock. So now with this card onto the field, we are actually going to protect ourselves. They're going to go ahead and power up, and then from there, they're going to go ahead and summon out the Numeron Chaos. And then from Numeron Chaos, they're going to activate the ability. But at this point, it's just GG's, as DPE, the Lightsaber of the Sky Strikers, is going to come back to the field to exert its dominance and attack for game. So, all I gotta say is playing through 3 Numeron Networks is pretty annoying, but we had to do what we had to do, especially when it comes to Kaijus. Let's get on to the next one. Okay, so now we're on to match number 3, and it looks like we're playing against some PKs. Now, PKs, as you guys know, not a big fan of them, only because of Rongo. But luckily, I had someone helping me with this duel, which told me what to go ahead and ash. And they had alerted me to go ahead and ash the Rusty. So we decided to go ahead and do that, and it actually kind of stops their combo, which was big for us because I never know what to stop when it comes to PKs. But apparently this is it. So if you guys are interested, apparently ash the Rusty. But anyways, they are going to go ahead and still do some plays as they get themselves the Phantom Knight into their hand. And then they're going to activate the second graveyard effect, which is going to go ahead and get them a Fog Blade. So they still get their Fog Blade, which they're going to go ahead and place face down. So it is our turn. We do draw into a Celestial, so we do not have any Sky Striker cards, which is unfortunate. But we do get ourselves the way to put some spells in the graveyard. So I'm going to go and activate Airspace, and then from there, we're going to activate Rhoda. So with me trying to bait out whatever Ash they had, it turns out they didn't have anything. So now with Airspace, I'm going to activate its effect and then chain that to the Raye. That way it can pop and Raye's ability could still go off, and that way we can summon out a Hayate. And now we are going to actually get lucky as we get the engage off of the 3 looks, and then we're going to grab ourselves the Afterburners, and then with engage second ability we could draw a card. I decided to go ahead and destroy that card and then destroy the Fog Blade, and then we can go ahead and attack there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put a Widow Anchor in the graveyard, and I accidentally did that. I didn't want to, but that was a complete accident. So we then go into the Kagari. From there, we go ahead and grab ourselves the Widow Anchor, because at this point I'm like, I want it back into my hand. And then we're going to go ahead and activate Fusion Destiny, which is going to go ahead and put the DPE onto the field. So as you can see, DPE in this deck is really, really good. I feel like it needs to be in this deck at this point, because you got to counter DPE from other players. But, you know, I know everybody hates this card, but it is what it is, right? Anyways, they are going to activate their Phantom Knights card. I'm going to go ahead and destroy it with DPE. They're then going to activate Fog Blade, which is then they're going to go ahead and try to summon out their Rusty. But I decided to use Shark Cannon to go ahead and banish it. That way their Rusty cannot be summoned. And at this point, it's looking like basically a good game, as we have stopped them already from doing Rongo plays. And, you know, that's always a good move in my book. So they do toss out the tour guide. I'm going to use a Widow Anchor that we got from the graveyard. And by using that, we're going to go ahead and snatch the Torn Scales, and they're just gonna go ahead and scoop. So it's always nice to see Phantom Knights lose without Rongo, but you know what, it is what it is, guys. Let's get on to the last duel. Maybe, yeah, I think one more we have. All right, so this is the last duel of the day, and honestly it wouldn't be a Sky Striker video showcase if we wasn't playing against the most annoying deck in the ladder, right? And you guys can guess what it is. I'm not gonna say anything, right? But anyways, we do start off with a DPE onto the field, as we did not really open up with anything. And yep, you guys guessed it, they are playing some swords. So they're gonna activate Emergence. I'm gonna go and Ash it, but they're gonna hit us with a cross out. So unfortunately we can't do anything about that at this point, right? So goodbye. I'm actually thinking about playing cross out in my deck at this point, because I just feel like it would be super good, especially being a spell card. But now they're going to activate Moye, and then with Moye, they're going to reveal their Ashuna, I believe. But we're actually going to go ahead and hit them with the Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is super good against Sorso, as it just stops them. And then they're going to go ahead and toss out the Ashuna, summon out their Longyon, and then I'm going to go ahead and destroy their token. That way they can't go ahead and make a what's called. But then they are going to hit our DPE with a Call by the Grave. But I big brain things, so we're actually going to stop the Call by the Grave by activating Imperm onto their Long. And that is going to go ahead and allow our DPE to make a return for the next upcoming turns. Then they're going to go into Shaman of Tenyi. After that, they're going to sack their Blackout, which I found to be a little weird, to go ahead and summon out a Moye. I don't know why they did that, but you know what, it is what it is. So I guess they were getting desperate at that point. I probably would have kept that card at least face down, because you could have used it to play around things. But I guess because I had DPE, they didn't think that it was going to be able to be that useful. But now we're just going to go ahead and destroy their field, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and activate, place the Shark Cannon face down, use Celestial's ability to draw 2. We're going to activate the Upstart Goblin, and then we're gonna go ahead and summon out Raye, and then from Raye we're gonna go into Shizuku, which is going to allow us to go ahead and grab ourselves a engage from the deck. And now we do have the Call by the Grave face down. So at this point, it is looking like GG's. I mean, at this point, what can they really do? And they're gonna go ahead and just end their turn. So now with this, I am gonna go ahead and just go ahead and link off immediately. We're gonna link into the Hayate. And the reason I linked it to Hayate is because I actually decided I want to put a Raye into our graveyard, and then by doing that we can go ahead and attack with both the monsters, and then we end our turn. So now that we have Raye, we have the DPE onto the field. They're going to activate the Vashuda. They're going to go ahead and use it to get off the Monk of Tenyi onto the field. I'm actually going to go ahead and destroy that Monk of Tenyi, that way they can't use the Vashuda's ability. And then they're going to summon out Exclacia, which I'm going to go ahead and call by the grave, and they're going to scoop, as they would not be able to do anything at that point. But anyways guys, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sky Strikers was the first deck that I built. It's super fun to play. I know people last night on stream was asking me about my Sky Striker deck, so yeah, I decided to go ahead and do a showcase on it. But thank you all for tuning in. See ya. Have a wonderful day.